Just ahead on CTV News.
State and local officials were talking snow readiness today. I'll tell you what they said coming up on CTV News.
People in Prince George's County are gearing up for the major snowstorm this weekend. I'm Jonathan Hunter. I'm here at Clinton Hardware, and as you can see, a lot of the shelves are empty.
Plus,
grocery store shelves are thinning out and lines are getting long as people prepare for one of the most significant winter storms in the Mid-Atlantic that we've seen in years. I'm Anaya Falcon. Coming up, I'll share how shoppers are faring.
These stories and more tonight on CTV News, starting now.
Good evening, this is CTV News for January 23rd. I'm Michaela Newton. Thanks so much for joining us. Our top story tonight, a major snowstorm is set to make landfall in our region in less than 24 hours. CTV News is bringing you team coverage of everything you need to know, and our Brandon Williams joins us in studio with the latest on storm prep from the state and local level. Brandon?
That's right, Michaela. That major snowstorm is on the doorstep of the DMV. State and local officials took to the podium, giving residents the latest information on safety, how to stay prepared, and what to do after the storm passes through our region.
Today, I've signed an executive order declaring a state of emergency inside the state of Maryland.
Maryland Governor Wes Moore wasting no time declaring a state of emergency due to the major winter storm that will bring snow, ice, sleet, and dangerous Arctic temperatures that will impact our area starting Saturday.
A storm of this size, a storm of this magnitude, is one that needs to be taken very, very seriously. What we need now is for everyone in the state of Maryland to understand the seriousness of this storm and to be partners in making sure that everyone is going to be safe.
At the local level, Prince George's County Executive Aisha Braveboy says her winter weather response team is ready to roll.
We have been monitoring the weather forecast of a major anticipated storm for days, and I am proud to say that Prince George's County is ready.
To help with plowing efforts, residents are directed to park in their driveways, garage, or on the even side of their street, making plowing a smoother process. Department of Public Works and Transportation Director Mike Johnson says the goal is to keep residents safe.
And our ultimate goal is to keep all roads in Prince George's County safe and keep everyone safe and whole and complete for this storm.
The county has set up a winter weather hub for residents to find out more information. The website is mypgc.us/winterweather. And we continue our winter storm team coverage with CTV's Jonathan Hunter, who's in Clinton. Jonathan, I heard shovels were in high demand for county residents. What's the latest?
I'm here at Clinton Hardware, and as you can see, a lot of the shelves are empty. Customers have been coming in left and right to buy winter supplies. As a result, Clinton Hardware sold out of shovels, snowblowers, heaters, and more. They even have signs outside letting customers know what they don't have in stock.
We prepare, we have stock. I have a big warehouse out back, but when you get one of these storms, it's a once every 10-year storm. There's never enough stock.
David Billman is the owner. He says while they sold out of a lot of things, they still have some supplies, including some batteries, lanterns, and firewood. He says the key to surviving this storm is to prepare ahead of time.
And we've had people starting on Monday getting prepared, which is always good. It's the ones that come in the day of or the last day, and you just can't wait that late. If you own a home, you should have a couple snow shovels.
The customers we spoke to agree.
Anything that you think you're going to need, you need to get it now or have it already, because it's not going to be available tomorrow and going forward for the next couple of weeks.
Calvin Davis came in to get some insulated gloves, but made sure he had everything else ahead of time.
So we got a warning that it's coming, but it's up to us to be ready when it happens. So that's my thought. If you're not ready, getting any shopping, that's just on you.
Billman says while they may be out of a lot of things, they still do their best to help their customers.
The other places that normally have ice melt, we call every day, a couple times a day, if they have it in stock. If they have product that my customers need, we will send them no problem hey, you need to get up there. They got a truck this morning.
And for those that live in Prince George's County, just a reminder, if your house is located near a sidewalk, you are responsible for shoveling off the part closest to your house, and you have 48 hours to do so. I'm now going to toss it over to my colleague, Anaya Falcon, who continues our team coverage at the grocery store.
That's right, Jonathan. Grocery stores have been busy for the past 3 days, and as you can see, this parking lot is completely packed as people are preparing for the most significant snowstorm in the Mid-Atlantic. And before the expected snow even starts falling, the rush is already on.
The lines are extremely long. I mean, you'll be here a while just in the lines.
Even though it's, still early, it's a bunch of people. I wasn't expecting the parking lot to look like this.
And some customers say shelves are running thin, which is causing them to store hop to find their essentials.
When I tell you it was nothing in BJ's yesterday, like I have pictures, because I couldn't believe it myself. It was not a gallon of milk. I'm like, this is insane. Just get what you need. Like, you don't have to overdo it.
At the Walmart that I went to in Bowie, however, those shelves for the breads, a lot of the snacks, those kinds of items were selling out, but they were constantly working to restock it.
Shoppers say the expected snowstorm is a financial burden to prepare for.
Everything is already expensive, super expensive anyway, so now it's like I have to go in the store and buy like 4 days worth of food. At one time and hope that that's enough.
But one 62-year-old shopper says there's one thing that's keeping his spirits lifted amidst the shopping rush.
Everybody was very friendly to customers. Yeah, so they was very friendly. Yeah, almost like Christmas.
And officials are urging drivers to monitor forecasts closely and to avoid driving during severe weather. So get out here early before the snow comes to get your essentials. In Largo, I'm Anaya Falcon, CTV News.
Brandon Williams, Jonathan Hunter, and Anaya Falcon on team coverage for us tonight. Thank you so much. Drivers can find real-time traffic updates, road closures, and plowing information on the MDOT website, roads.maryland.gov. Meanwhile, major utility companies throughout the area are stepping up to help customers ahead of the snow. One of them is Pepco, who reports having an increase in staffing to ensure crews are available to respond to possible power outages. In the case of downed trees and power lines, Pepco officials warn customers not to approach or touch them, but to call them immediately to report it. You can visit their website, use Pepco's app, text them at 48710, or give them a call at 1-877-PEPCO-62. And WSSC Water will have their facilities open and staffed 24/7 to monitor possible water and sewer emergencies. They have already had crews repair all known water main breaks and leaks ahead of the storm. WSSC officials say they will be preparing snow removal equipment at all locations and fueling backup generators at critical facilities. Since the winter season started in November, they have responded to 870 water main breaks and leaks in both Montgomery and Prince George's counties. And as we prepare for this frigid storm to take over the region, it's important to remember to stay safe when clearing your driveways and don't overdo it. Doctors say those who are older and may not be where they once were physically should be especially careful. If you're out shoveling and feel any chest pain or pressure, stop shoveling and call 911 or seek medical assistance.
Heart problems tend to rise in the winter, even without shoveling, just because of things like the cold and flu season and holiday stress. So it's something that you really want to be aware of. Shoveling is hard work, even for people who are fit, even for people who work out regularly. And the reason is because it's very strenuous. It can raise your heart rate, it can get your blood pressure up quickly, just like exercising very quickly or doing some very fast exercise. And when your heart is working harder than usual, especially in cold weather, that's going to put more stress on your heart in general.
And some symptoms to watch out for include severe shortness of breath, lightheadedness, or dizziness. Now to a tragic story. A brutal house fire in Camp Springs this morning leaves one person dead and 6 people displaced. This was the scene at the 7200 block of Karen Ann Drive. First responders arrived around 1 a.m. and tackled flames coming out of the roof of the home. The fire was quickly extinguished, but one person was found dead inside. Fire crews returned back to the neighborhood later this morning to conduct smoke alarm and fire and life safety inspections. The cause of the fire is still under investigation. And a heated argument between co-workers Wednesday night leads to one of them being shot. County police officers arrived at the 4800 block of Addison Road and found a tow truck company employee with a gunshot wound. According to the investigation, the victim approached two of his co-workers in a parking lot. They got into an argument. He then pepper sprayed the both of them. Then one of the employees shot him back. Luckily, his injuries weren't life-threatening. You're watching CTV News. I'm Michaela Newton. Still to come.
A pilot program geared to help educators launches in the Prince George's County public school system. I'm Katira Jones. I'll have all those details coming up on CTV News.
$828 million people around the world go hungry every day, even though the world produces enough food to feed them. Early on, I knew I wanted to figure out better ways to get food to people who are hungry. What started out as volunteering became my life's work. What might surprise people is that this experience intertwines every day with my experience at Rotary. I've married my mission with my job, making an impact daily on this issue that I care about. And over the years, as a member of Rotary, I know I'm creating solutions. Whatever you care about, whatever is important to you, Rotary is a way to multiply the impact that you're going to have. Rotarians truly are changing the world through the work that they're doing.
Welcome back. Prince George's County Public Schools released its proposed budget yesterday for fiscal year 2027, calling it a plan focused on financial stability, protecting classrooms, and improving student outcomes. District leaders say the proposal closes a major budget gap without furloughs, salary freezes, or layoffs for active teachers. The PGCPS interim superintendent say they asked for close to $3 billion, which is a 1.2% increase in total operating budget compared to fiscal year 2026.
This is a modest requested increase when you view it against inflationary pressures, enrollment needs, and the rising cost of special education, compensation, and instructional supports. This is not simply a financial plan. It's a set of value-based decisions made during a time of real constraint. Every choice reflected in this budget was guided by one core question: how do we protect students, honor our workforce, and stabilize this system for the future?
PGCPS leaders say the proposed budget now heads to public work sessions and hearings where families, staff, and community members will have a chance to weigh in before it goes to the school board and county leaders for final approval. And a state-led program designed to better support educators launches in Prince George's County. CTV's Katira Jones is outside of one of the schools picked to be a part of the pilot initiative. Katira?
That's right. The Maryland Department of Education wants to see teachers get that one-on-one support that they need. And they feel through coaching is the way to do it.
Even our very best teachers get better when they've got coaching that go alongside them.
The Maryland State Department of Education launches the Academic Excellence Program. The pilot program, which kicks off first with PGCPS, will provide 7 state-trained coaches that will work with 14 elementary schools in the county.
We have trained our coaches alongside Prince George's County Public School leaders to understand district priorities and expectations, ensuring that coaching support meets the needs of the school system's teachers and students.
The school district, along with MSDE, looked at a school's early literacy data to select the schools that will be a part of the pilot initiative. Cooper Lane Elementary School in Landover Hills is one of the schools that will receive teacher coaching.
So teachers will have a coach that is with them on the ground in the work. They'll be a part of the school culture. They'll participate in meetings. They'll get to meet with their teachers one-on-one regularly. They'll get feedback through regular ongoing observations on a day-to-day basis. So it's like their side-by-side partner in the classroom.
State school officials say the pilot program cost a whopping $5.8 million and is funded through philanthropic partners.
Coaching will make a difference. When we talk about the work that has to happen in Prince George's County, we talk about decreasing the variance that we see between our strongest schools and our most challenged. And what makes the difference is coaching.
Research is very clear that after having an absolutely outstanding principal, teachers will stay where they are if they're feeling that they are being supported. And this is one way to support our teachers and keep them in the classroom.
The second phase of the program, which will begin in the fall, will include 15 state-trained coaches.
Awesome job.
Katara Jones, CTV News.
County school officials say the program is the first state-led teacher coaching program in Maryland. And an alarming audit is raising serious questions about student safety and state oversight in Maryland schools. State auditors say the Maryland State Department of Education failed to ensure local school systems properly vetted new hires, including required background checks. Auditors also say the department risked millions in federal education funds by delaying reimbursement requests. In a more serious finding, 2 no-bid contracts were referred to the Maryland Attorney General's office for possible criminal review. State officials say they're fixing the problems and dispute mishandling federal funds. As the 2026 Maryland General Assembly session moves forward, Democratic leaders say rising costs and frustration with Washington are driving their agenda. Senate leaders say Marylanders are struggling with affordability, economic uncertainty, and what they describe as misplaced priorities at the federal level. They argue state lawmakers must take a more aggressive role in protecting residents from policies coming out of Washington. Senate President Bill Ferguson says the focus this session is on delivering practical solutions at the state level rather than waiting for federal action.
Marylanders are feeling the pain of rising costs and a federal administration that has failed to deliver on any promise in their election, be it tariffs, be it starting wars in Venezuela, with attempting wars in Greenland. There is not a lot of focus at the federal level about the actual things that matter to people. And what the Maryland Senate believes is that we have to prioritize and deliver. We have to show Marylanders that we understand that they are feeling the frustration of affordability, that they are concerned about the future of growth in an ever more sophisticated economy, and that we have to take the practical, tangible efforts to put policies in place where the federal government is stepping on Maryland. We have to kick the boot off. And so that's our plan.
And lawmakers are expected to debate tax policy, economic development, and the state budget in the coming weeks as they work toward a deal before the session ends in April. And breaking news coming into our studio. We now have breaking news. In a 9-1 vote, the Prince George's County Council have just appointed the mayor of Bowie, Mr. Tim Adams, to fill the vacant District 4 council seat. The seat was previously held by former council member Ingrid Wasson, who resigned last week. Adams will hold the position until December 5th when the term is up. And meanwhile, immigration advocates and Democratic lawmakers in Maryland are pushing to pass Senate Bill 245. This would end all 287G agreements in the state of Maryland. CASA officials rallied alongside lawmakers yesterday in Annapolis to voice their concern. Currently, 8 counties in Maryland have 287G agreements, meaning law enforcement officials in those counties work with ICE. Immigration advocates say the agreements doesn't make the community safer. While sheriffs across the state disagree, both sides shared the opinions on the matter at a hearing.
And so now is our time to stamp this out and to get our local police back to solving local problems and local crimes. It is time for Maryland and the Senate Judicial Proceedings Committee to advance this bill and to reaffirm our values as Marylanders, that we love our neighbors, that we value our immigrant communities and their work.
It does not pull away from law enforcement whatsoever. What does pull away from law enforcement is when ICE has to come in here and they can't do these safe transfers of these offenders within a jail facility, and you see the kind of activities from around the country with protesters showing up and people assaulting or following, harassing ICE agents. That is a demand on law enforcement that we don't need here.
Senator Will Smith, who sponsored the bill, says Senate Bill 245 would not stop police from arresting people when they commit a crime, regardless of their immigration status. And a shutdown showdown moves to the Senate. The House has approved the final batch of federal spending bills, sending a roughly $1.2 trillion package across the Capitol just days before a January 30th deadline to avoid a partial government shutdown. Most of the bills passed with broad bipartisan support, funding defense, education, transportation, and health and human services. But Democrats sharply criticized the Homeland Security measure, arguing it funnels money to immigration enforcement without meaningful limits on ICE. Republicans pushed the bill through anyway. Now all eyes turn to the Senate, where lawmakers have less than a week to act. And so to come on CTV News, several counties in the state are set to receive over $1 million in funding to improve road safety. After the break, find out who in Prince George's is receiving a cut.
Once upon a time, there was a special blue and green marble. When you looked really close, you could see curious creatures everywhere and happy people like you and me. The marble gave them everything they needed. For a while, they lived in harmony with nature. But as time passed, things started to change. Nature needed their help. And they realized they needed nature too. What's the end of the story? That's up to us.
As respiratory illnesses spike across Maryland, the state is stepping up to help hospitals impacted by the surge. During a press conference on Thursday, Maryland officials announced that it will provide $164 million in hospital surge funding. The money, which comes from the Health Services Cost Review Commission, will help 25 hospitals pay for extra staff and operational costs resulted from the spike. As of January 14th, Maryland has seen more than 4,000 flu hospitalizations and close to 980 RSV hospitalizations.
While the increase in flu cases and flu-related hospitalizations is putting added pressure on emergency departments and inpatient units, hospitals remain ready to care for every person who comes through their doors. Hospitals are safe places to receive care, and our emergency departments are equipped to handle serious life-threatening conditions, again, open 24/7.
Leaders say only 22% of county residents have gotten the flu vaccine. Officials want to encourage anyone who hasn't received the flu shot to get it. And members of the Maryland congressional delegation announced a $1.4 million investment to improve road safety in Baltimore City, Hartford, Talbot, and Prince George's County. $400,000 of the funding will go to the University of Maryland College Park. The university will conduct a micro-mobility safety study and gather community input and video-based behavior data and deliver those findings to the county. The federal funding is provided by the state, the Safe Streets and Roads for All grant program. Prince George's County Council Chair Crystal Oriatha is launching the Oriatha Global Fellowship Program, and she invites all District 7 high school students to apply. It is a free 6-month leadership and global engagement fellowship that includes an international trip with a free U.S. passport voucher, cultural workshops, mentorship opportunities, and a chance to get community service hours. The deadline to apply is Monday, January 26th, so if you're interested, visit the website right there on your screen. And Delegate Adrian Boafo has earned a major endorsement from Congressman Steny Hoyer. Hoyer released the following statement this morning saying, quote, "There are Prince Georgians who have access to clean water, military families who are now protected from discrimination, workers earn higher wages, and countless other Marylanders whose lives are better because of Adrian Boafo." Boafo began his career in politics working for Hoyer in Maryland's 5th District. All right, don't go away just yet. It's almost time for our Friday sports page. Simon, what's going on?
Stay right there for your Friday sports page, everyone, because I have an exciting recap for you on the County Track and Field Championships from yesterday. You'll want to see this. Don't move.
You know the national parks, but you may not know that they're supported by a strong foundation. A foundation for the future. We are the National Park Foundation, and together with your support, we are building a bold future where national parks are vibrant, protected, and welcoming. Today, tomorrow, forever. Learn more at nationalparks.org/foundation.
All right, sports fans, I've got a packed sports page in store for you all today. Let's get right to it. Now, track and field fans, listen up, because this first story is for you, as I have an inside look for you guys on an exciting event that took place yesterday. It was a packed house at the Prince George's County Sports and Learning Complex yesterday as the County Track and Field Championships took place there. The best of the best athletes from schools all over the area gathered at Landover to put on a show and try and bring a medal back to their schools. I caught up with one of the student athletes and he told me what it was like for him to be surrounded by so many other talented people like himself.
Honestly, it feels like I'm connected. I'm connected with a bunch of people from whom I never met before who go to different schools, but we all just share one thing, is the love and dedication for the sport, track and field. And so I feel connected and honestly honored being surrounded by so many great athletes.
Memories were made and records were broken during this exciting day. I talked to some of the athletes that won medals for their schools, and they took me through the events they participated in that got them first place.
I just broke a mental and physical barrier. I ran 39.97, that's my new PR, and I broke the school record, which was a 41.45. First, I was nervous because, you know, lane 6, I've never ran lane 6 before. Back then, my old mindset was like, oh, lane 1, lane 2, lane 3, you're cooked, but eventually I had to learn that it doesn't matter what lane you're in, it matters your race plan and if you want to cook or get cooked.
When I got the baton, I was sitting at like third, and so coming around that first turn, it felt bad because my leg was hurting. So when I got to like the third lap, I told myself I had to pick it up. I had to like push for my guys. So we got down to the last stretch. I got first and let my third leg get the baton.
I just wanted to win because I just wanted to make sure that I pulled it out at the end, because in prelims I only ran 7.9 and I was jogging, but it just, people who I didn't think was gonna run that fast ran faster than they did, so I had to pull it out the bag. You know what I'm saying? My last 3 hurdles on the 55 is my best 3, so when I seen that they were in front of me, I told myself I got to go get them, and that's what I did, and then I had to get the lean at the end.
Congratulations to all the track and field runners that took home medals for their schools. Meantime, the Baltimore Ravens have found their next head coach with the hiring of Jesse Minter. Minter was previously the defensive coordinator for the Los Angeles Chargers for the last 2 seasons before joining the Purple and Black. The 42-year-old replaced former Ravens head coach John Harbaugh, who was fired earlier this month. Minter worked under Harbaugh as a defensive assistant with Baltimore from 2017 to 2020. The Arkansas native is the 4th head coach in the team's history. And that wraps up your Friday sports page. Simon Buggs, CTV Sports. Have a good weekend, everyone.
All right, Simon, thanks so much. Now let's get a look at our 3-day weather forecast, what everyone has been looking forward to. Tonight will be partly cloudy with wind gusts up to 26 miles per hour. Tomorrow, if you haven't heard, we have a 70 to 100% chance of snow. We'll have a high of 21 and a low of 17. Sunday, expect a wintry mix of snow, freezing rain, and sleet. It'll be 28 degrees. Monday will be mostly sunny with a high of 27 and a low of 5. And for our community calendar, before the storm hits, why not come out to the Surratt's Clinton Branch Library for a Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. poetry extravaganza. Join Sister Joy and other collective voices for an inspiring celebration of the life and legacy of Dr. King through poetry and uplifting messages. This event takes place from 1 to 2:30 p.m., but for more information, contact 301-868-9200. All right, that's all the time we have for CTV News. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you again next week. Have a safe weekend, everyone.